guys, Brett for TopoRanger. How y'all doing? Been a while since we managed to get outside, but here I am today. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here, November in Pennsylvania. And today we are at Muddy Run Reservoir. And what you're looking at right here is a 250-foot rock dam. This dam right here holds back 11 billion gallons of water that's stored up in the Muddy Run Reservoir. It's about 1,000-acre reservoir with 11 billion gallons of water right behind me. Okay, it's 250 feet, which means from that guardrail right up there, you can see there's a car going right there right now. So if you extend that out flat across and you go straight down where Muddy Run resurges at the base of the dam, it's going to be about 250 feet. Now what Muddy Run is it's a pumped storage hydroelectric facility. Basically what that means is they take water during down times when there's excess capacity at the Peach Bottom plant, nuclear power plant, which is just downriver. When they use electricity, excess electricity from there to pump water up from the Susquehanna River and into the Muddy Run Reservoir. And that's you got about a 400-foot hydraulic head, which means from the location or from the position of the turbines down at the pump house or the power station, which is where they create the electricity that comes when they let the reservoir water down, to the top of the lake is about a 400-foot vertical elevation difference. So once they pump the water up, it just sits there in that reservoir. And my research indicates that basically what they do is, it's often in the summer when everybody's running their air conditioning units, and the demand for electricity is really high and the grid starts to kind of get strained. There's a place over there called the canal, which is where the water goes down into these vertical shafts. There's 4 vertical shafts that run from the canal down. They're about 350 feet straight down. Each one is a concrete shaft, 25 feet wide. They let the water fall down there. Once it hits the level of the river, it then goes horizontal and it out towards the river, again in those 25-foot diameter concrete tunnels. And then once it gets close to the power station, it splits off. It goes from 4 to 8 into these 14-foot diameter steel tunnels. And those steel tunnels then run right into 8 turbines, which are located about 80 feet below the river level. So they open the gates, water goes down, rushes this way, powers the turbines, and then the water just discharges into the river. So there's some pretty cool engineering stuff going on here. And they use that to, like I said, during the summer when they need excess capacity and the grid's is right at the, probably redlining, they need more power. They'll crank the sucker up, and then when they don't need a lot of electricity, they use excess power from the Peach Bottom plant to then pump this stuff up from the river level. So when I'm standing here, this is the dam, the 250-foot rock dam that holds back the 11 billion gallons of water from the Muddy Creek Reservoir. And really the reason I'm here, what kind of made me curious about this place in the first place, is 2 things. I thought, number one, I thought it would be really cool to stand down there at the base of this huge slope. Look at this massive slope, and just look up and take pictures, because I mean, you don't encounter a slope like this around here, this big. I just thought it would be kind of cool. Number 2, I was curious about Muddy Run, which is right here. Muddy Run, this is the ravine which they blocked off to create the reservoir. I'm curious what happens down there. We're gonna go down there, and also there at the base of Muddy Run, there's some train tracks, and of course there's a tunnel. Now I'm curious about the tunnel because I'm pretty sure the train tracks are older than the reservoir. Reservoir was built 64 to 68. It cost about $73 million, and it was designed by one of the guys who also designed the Cooley Dam slash reservoir, which I think is in Colorado. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm curious about that tunnel because I want to see if it's one of those old school tunnels, kind of like the Enola low grade. And also, but another thing to consider is that down by the canal there is a spillway where if the reservoir ever gets too high, the excess water then flows over this spillway down a side valley into Muddy Run, the ravine of Muddy Run, then through that tunnel into the river. So I'm thinking, like, if they designed it to carry that much capacity, you know, who knows what this tunnel looks like. It could just be an old culvert, which would be really cool, or it could be something different. It could be some kind of like hybrid tunnel like we run into sometimes down in this area, where they have an old tunnel and then they modify it when they put in new construction, like they did to the tunnel that's under the Normanwood Bridge, which is another location. One cool thing to think about is that if this thing did overflow, if that spillway did start taking water, the water would run. There's basically like a ravine, and it's very, very steep. So it pretty much would create the highest, probably the largest waterfall in the state of Pennsylvania. It's about a 400-foot difference between the level of the spillway and the bed of the creek down here on its way to the Susquehanna. All right, guys, we made it to the bottom of the dam, and that's what you're looking at right here. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications if you like TopoRanger. All right, so here's Muddy Run Ravine, and there's the dam, and it looks like to me the water's just coming right out of the rocks here. It's just kind of resurging right out of the rubble at the base of the dam. I don't know if there might be a pipe under here that they just covered over with debris so that nobody gets in there, but yeah, this is the resurgence of the Muddy Run, man-made resurgence of Muddy Run. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow this downstream, and I think there might be a waterfall down here, and there's some a lot of schist outcrops, stuff like that. So we're just gonna follow this downstream. It's about a third of a mile, and I think we're gonna go down about 100 feet vertical distance. All right. So here's another discharge point. There's one over there too. I guess it's coming out of that pipe right there. It's coming through here. I'm not sure what that's for. Oh, jeez. It's kind of gushy though. And there's all kinds of little monitoring spots, devices that I assume are collecting data on the pressure, probably seismic data, discharge volume, all kinds of stuff like that, because they want to keep track of this thing. Because if this thing was to blow or to burst, they would want to know beforehand. Because this would be great. This whole thing would be washed away. It would be, as they say, biblical. All right, let's head downstream. All right, so all the sources, all the discharge points come right here, and all collects and is focused into this one spot. There's a little weir dam here with a little plank, a little walkway, and over there's a marker on the side there to judge. I imagine there's some equipment in there, some kind of monitoring stuff in there. And that right there is all the flow. So that's the total discharge from the Muddy Creek Reservoir right now. Just hiking along Muddy Run here, heading down towards the river. Not sure what happened here. Got a dead buck. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof, man, that's starting to stink a little bit. I think I hear a waterfall up ahead here. Found a little creekside cave here. Let's go check this sucker out. Try not to get my feet wet. Oh, it's a little soupy. Oh god. Let's see where this goes. Oh yeah, look at that. Not too far. Water's coming through there though. Starting to get some pretty high cliffs here on either side, and some nice solutional features on the side. It's kind of a little overhang here. Big quartz vein there. Here you can kind of see what looks to be the remnants of a pothole right here. I think we're getting pretty close to where the tunnel should be. Got a little waterfall here. Oh wow. I think this might have been the waterfall I saw from Google Earth. Yeah, check this out. So that's where I was right there. Comes down here through this little thing here. Yeah. Nice little waterfall. That pool seems pretty deep. And if you look over here, I mean, look at the size of this one. Look at that. I mean, I'm standing in this pothole. Look at the size of that sucker. You know? That's big. This might have been carved out by the river when the river was real high. Let's see if we can get up in here. That's rock, yeah. Coming right out of there. Another cave over there. Nice little waterfall. Alright, let's keep going. Got you another waterfall. It's about 4 feet in this rock pool. I think we're almost at the tunnel, but I found the waterfall that I actually did see from Google Earth. And it's a man-made situation here. Concrete, about 15 feet high. Dams this up right here. It's an old funky ladder. Not sure what the point of this is. Maybe an old mill here. But tunnel's down that way. A little bit beyond the dam here, the small dam, and I'm coming across some more ruins. These big concrete pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 of them. They have that curved top. Must have been carrying some type of water pipe, probably from that dam there. It's possible that that dam might have created a water source in the past. See the curved shape, and they all line up. It's either that or ancient aliens. All right, I can see the tunnel off in the distance. This is Muddy Run here, and this is surprisingly, like, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of nice waterfalls here. A lot of nice little hidden spots here that you can explore. Overhangs, little stream caves. And as we get close to the river, the schist ridge gets real sharp. Forms these big blocks. Right up there. River's right down there. That's upriver. That's downriver. And this spot right here, if you look on the Google Earth, if the water ever comes over that spillway up at probably about 300 feet above us right now, 300 or 400 feet above us, this is where the water would create this huge waterfall, about 400 feet vertical relief. Right there to the water surface to the spillway is 400 feet. It would just be the huge rush. Well, I mean, it could be big or small depending upon, you know, how much it is actually overflowing. Look at the size of that outcropper. Holy crow. I mean, you can see these in Google Earth, but they're bigger than they look. This is steep. It's gonna take me a while to get back up there. I'll pick it up at the tunnel. I found another one of these pillars here. As you can see, it's got this curved surface, and I actually found a piece of the old pipe that must have ran along here. As you can see, it's severely corroded. Look at that. It's just punctured through with, it's got threads on it too. Hey, you see that? That must have been the pipe there. It's long since fallen off. There's a pillar right there, you can see, that just crumbled down to the ground. It's like waterfall number 10 here. Yeah, pothole. About 3.5 feet. That looks like a spring. It's coming right out of the ground. Huh. That's... wow. A lot of surprises on Muddy Run here. Well, we made it to the tunnel, guys, and Muddy Run. This is not disappointing at all. Huge, blocky towers of these schists. 1, 2, 3, right here as we're coming down. This is steep. It's getting steeper. Right before we hit the tunnel, we got more waterfalls. We got a 1, 2, 3. We got a waterfall going into the tunnel, and there's the tunnel right there. And that looks like, to me, at least this side of it, it's definitely old school construction. You know, circa turn of the century, maybe same time as the Enola grade was built. These big rocks, I mean, I gotta come back here. This is definitely a return trip here. You guys are looking for something that's out of the way. I don't know how many people come here. I've seen almost zero trash here. There's really no trail to speak of, and there's ruins, all kinds of cool stuff. And it's steep too. I mean, it's a steep ravine. It's like Tuplon Glen here. And it gets even more dramatic as you head down towards the river. I'm gonna switch POV style. I got my 2500 lumens. I got the hyper light. We're going down. We're gonna go through this tunnel, and we're gonna come out on the river, and we're gonna see what's on the other side. All right, here we go. You're coming down here. Look at these potholes. 1, 2. Be careful right here. This is all wet, very slippery. I'm gonna go down on my butt. Whoa! Oh! I just got my ass wet. See that? It's all wet. Just be careful. All right, here's the tunnel. Whoa! Jesus. It's like a double tunnel. Whew, holy crow. Look at that.
Wow. It's high. Oh, it's definitely a waterfall. Look at that. Nice. That's definitely a waterfall. Look at that with the light coming through there. Beautiful. Wow. Pseudo formation there. Oh, that's pretty steep. So sharp. Oh wow! Oh wow! Stone dance. Whoa. Look at that toad star right there. Formation. Really cool. Waterfall, huh? Ooh. Popcorn. Seat there. Look at that. There's some more. Oh wow. Oh. All right. Look at that. Wow. Water's getting... All right. The water's too deep here for me. I think unless I can get along the edge. I don't think I can. I think I got to go back out. Look at that. don't think I can get out of the tunnel downstream. It gets too deep. I don't want to get all my feet and my legs wet for the hike back up the ridge because it's pretty high. But as you can see, there's another tunnel there, but that's just a little concrete thing. It's actually two tunnels. This tunnel, and then the second tunnel part's right there. Tons of pseudo formations out the wazoo. Really nice. Some of them are actually pretty, like you can see, you can see the cave. Brimstone dams, little soda straws, popcorn. It's all coming out of the masonry. The waterfall, most of the length of this, the first section of the tunnel is it's all waterfall, man. Tunnel's not quite as long as I thought it would be, but with the light coming through and the noise and the power of the water, this is a really awesome location. Muddy Run, downstream Muddy Run Reservoir. It's definitely a place I'm gonna have to come back to, right? But I'm glad I came. Glad you guys came with me, right? This is Brett from TopoRanger, signing out.